Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy. Today's quick tip is in Cursor AI, which is a smart code editor, and Adobe After Effects. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to modify the code of the wiggle panel expression that we created in the mini course using Cursor to build a custom panel for After Effects. And in case you missed it, there is a link in the description. It's a free 4-part mini course on my YouTube channel. I definitely encourage you to check it out. It's pretty cool. What's awesome about the panel that we built in the mini course is that once you build the panel, all you have to do is reopen the project folder in Cursor and you can modify and customize your panel whenever you want. So currently, when the CTI reaches the end of the timeline and resets, there's a tiny little glitch or jump. But there is an expression written by Dan Eberts, who's kind of the king of the After Effects expressions, called looping wiggle. You see here, it's just a block of code. And when you add this code and set the loop time, it makes a perfectly seamless loop. To reopen the project in Cursor and make changes to the wiggle panel, first locate your project folder and just double check in your project folder. For me, I created the dev folder. That is where my .jsx file, which contains the code for the wiggle panel. Go ahead and open up Cursor. Click on the button that says Open Project, or go to the top menu, click on File, Open Folder. Navigate to your project folder, just select it, and click Open. You'll see your project folder over in the left sidebar, or the Explorer bar. I'm going to twirl open the dev folder, as that's where I have my .jsx file that contains the code for the wiggle panel, and when I select it, you're going to see it in the main editor. Then all you need to do is go over to the chat or the agent panel on the right side. The fast way to do that is use the keyboard shortcut Command or Control I or Command or Control L. That'll jump your cursor right to the text box. You can simply type in and tell Cursor what changes you want to make to your panel. Now, I typed out my prompt in advance just to save time for this tutorial, but my prompt is nothing special. I just simply typed out what it is that I wanted Cursor to do, and that's just replace the current wiggle expression with this looping wiggle expression. So I'm going to go ahead and copy everything. Command or Control C to copy it to my clipboard. I'll jump back into Cursor. I'm going to go up to the chat bar. If your cursor is not up there, remember that keyboard shortcut, Command or Control I. Now I can paste, Command or Control V. I can click Send or use the keyboard shortcut, Return or Enter. Cursor is going to read the code over here. It's going to look at my requests. It's going to do its magic. And it's going to start writing some notes telling me if it's going to do it. It's saying, I'll help you modify the script. So Cursor is finished. You can go over to the chat panel and read the notes and see exactly what Cursor did. In the main editor, when looking at the code, any code that is highlighted in green, that indicates that is new code added by Cursor, and any lines that are highlighted in red, that is code that will be deleted if you accept the changes. And to accept changes, you can hover your cursor and accept individual lines, or just go to the very bottom and click Accept File. That is going to accept all the changes. So I'll click that, Accept File. Because I accepted the changes, the .jsx file in my project folder has been updated. So I'll go to my project folder, and before I make any changes, I'm just going to double check and make sure that After Effects is closed, which it is. I'll open up my project folder, open up the dev folder. There's the .jsx file that Cursor just updated. I'm going to select it and copy it to my clipboard, Command or Control C. Now I'm going to go into the Applications folder, open up the latest version of After Effects, open up the Scripts folder, then the ScriptUI panels. I'm going to paste it and replace the .jsx file that is currently in After Effects. So this is our current wiggle panel button. I'm going to replace it by Command or Control V. Yes, I want to replace. Then you're going to need to enter in your Mac password. Now it's time to test the panel. I'm going to open up an After Effects project. If you don't see your panel, go to the window menu at the top, select your panel. There's our panel. We've got the sliders. We have a new default amount for the frequency and amplitude. I wanted it to match that looping wiggle expression. We now have a new field called duration, which defaults to the composition settings duration, or you can click to enter a custom loop duration, which is very cool. I'm going to test it out by selecting a property. I'll tap R to bring up the rotation property. Make sure you select the property, enter the values you want, click the wiggle button. I see the values turn red, that means it added an expression. If I tap EE, click, now we've got that looping wiggle expression. I'll test out the seamless loop by tapping the spacebar. CTI, when it reaches the end of the timeline, I did not notice any type of jump or glitch. It is working perfectly. Awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and quit cursor, quit cursor. I'm going to dock my new and improved wiggle panel. To do so, just click on the name and drag. Whenever you see blue, that indicates a drop zone. I'll just drag it right below the project panel. And now you know just how easy it is to reopen a project in Cursor, make some changes to the code to update your custom panel. In the next video, we're going to add some buttons to the wiggle panel and get it ready to turn it into a digital product. Well, now you know just how easy it is to reopen a project in Cursor whenever you want to update or modify your After Effects panel. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to add some additional buttons so we can actually turn our panel into a digital product. Links in the description to the full mini course, and I've also left a link in the description to my newsletter called AI Unplugged. I would love for you to subscribe. My name is Mike Murphy. Cheers.